Oh my God, we are live! Hello and welcome to Talk Chef. I am one of your hosts, Reka.
I'm your other host, Jordan.
And we have an incredible guest today, the wonderful, talented Ruha Taslimi. Ruha, thank you so much for doing the show.
Thank you for having me.
We are live! Hello!
Jordan.
Wow,
You're the one
Jordan.
ultimately that fucked up, and we had to hear my voice twice.
I'm so sorry. I specifically warned Ruha.
Yeah.
That they shouldn't leave it open, and then Jordan fucking did it. Okay.
Yeah. And I have headphones and it wouldn't have even been a problem.
This is sort of a classic problem Jordan and I will have at the start of an episode. One of us makes a huge mistake, and then we kind of beef about it for the whole episode. Just sort of a classic issue.
I hate Reka.
Beautiful. But for real, we are so excited to have you here, Ruha. You're a big food person, which we always love. You've always got good racks for food. Every time I have been at your home, you've got good ass food orders on deck. Let me ask you, have you seen Top Chef before?
No, not really.
This shocked me because Ruha is such a huge foodie. Ruha and I we were on a UCB team together when I first moved to LA, and I would say a lot of our friendships started to blossom because we both had such an incredible love of food, and now we have an incredible love of each other.
I agree. And I have watched a lot of cooking shows and cooking competition shows. Just happen to not
see Top Chef. Do you have a fave?
Top Chef so much. Well, MasterChef Junior is I don't know, but I watched it. I really enjoyed it. Those kids can cook. Those kids can.
Can I say, kind of a cool segue to today's episode, despite Jordan's face, kind of.
Yes.
That's true.
And
I agree. And I agree. Although those MasterChef Junior chefs, I mean, they're master chefs.
And is that a big old dump on these kids?
No.
He's fucking. Oh! Abigail didn't know what a beet was. Okay.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
No.
You're right.
This episode's very adorable. It's a good one in the bank of stuff. So couple orders of business before we get started. Mm-hmm. As you guys know, this is a food charity-based live stream, and this season's no different. Psych, yes, it is. We normally announce our charities up top, and we kind of announce them every single week, but this time we're announcing the charity at the end of the season and kind of going to do one big fundraise-a-thon for the charity then. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Second order of business, Ruha, there's actually something we didn't tell you, which is that just like every episode of Top Chef has a quick fire, so does every episode of Talk Chef. It does not involve cooking. I see some sort of panic across your face.
That was confidence. I was like, I need to tell you. I get to tell you a quick fire. I got
it. Incredible. This is not a cooking based quick fire. Bummer. We should make it one for you. It is actually just 10 questions that are Ruha preference questions, but it's the fastest quick fire in Top Chef history. It's 45 seconds long.
Wow.
Pretty quick. And in case you're kind of like, Reka and Jordan fucking suck ass, I'm going to bullshit my way through this. Whatever.
Yeah.
Or like some of our YouTube commenters say, poo poo pee pee. I get emails every time someone writes something. And lately, a couple people have been writing poo poo pee pee. And, you know.
On commenting on our videos?
Yeah.
That's pretty rude. Yeah. I actually am going to talk to them about that.
And it's just, is the whole comment poo poo pee pee?
Yeah, it'll be like poo poo pee pee, and maybe that'll be it.
That doesn't really sit well with me.
Yeah. It's up to interpretation. Maybe I don't get it. But in case you're one of those trolls, Ruha, let me tell you.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. In case that was you.
In case I'm a troll that says poo poo pee pee, thinking it'll go over your head.
Yeah. Highbrow stuff.
Yeah.
Our prizes are pretty incredible. So one of our prizes is a deed to the Turlotto wine vineyard.
Whoa.
Now I'm seeing that you absolutely know what that is. So just for the viewers at home, in case you don't know what the Terlato wine vineyard is, Terlato wine is a wine that is sponsored between 1 and 700 seasons of Top Chef. Nobody's ever heard of them. The guy who owns it is named like Tortellini Terlato. He's in an episode of the show once. I've never seen anybody drink this wine. I believe you cannot purchase it. You know, the people who
tried. I personally have tried. I have not been able to find it anywhere.
Yes, it's difficult to acquire. I think it's a unique blend of sugar and water. So getting a deed to this vineyard is a pretty huge deal. It's more like a factory underground. So you would want a deed to that vineyard. The smallest bottle is like what, 70 gallons? So that's pretty incredible.
Wow. Can't get a bottle, but you can get the deed.
You can get the deed.
Yeah.
Great.
So you would control. Then after that, if you want to start giving out bottles, that's your choice.
Well, okay. So bottles might be available soon.
Bottles might be available soon, or you want to keep that Tortellini Terlato secret, you know, and never give anybody a taste.
I guess I'll have to talk to Tortellini.
Exactly. You might have to talk to Torts. So that's one prize.
Great.
The other prize is you win your own personal suite of broken GE appliances, just like you see on the show. We're talking an air fryer that doesn't get up to temp. We're talking an oven that drops temp. We're talking about a blender that explodes while you're using it. All of that could be yours. So
okay. So this is serious.
This is serious. Yeah, exactly. You didn't come on just like a dumb comedy show hosted by two dumb comedy people.
Stupid.
No,
that's
awesome.
I never thought that, and I want to go on record.
Okay, we're good.
That's so nice.
That's not the reputation Jordan and I try to instill. Poo poo pee pee is closer to the reputation, but also not quite there. So I'm going to start the timer for 45 seconds after Jordan finishes asking you question 1. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
What is your 3-word food philosophy?
Salt, flavor, comfort.
What would you cook for Oprah?
I would make my uncle's chicken in a pot. It's a family recipe. It's outstanding. And some Persian rice.
What is the best type of rice?
Persian basmati with tahdig.
Is $10 enough to make a meal for 4 people?
Technically, in my opinion, no, but also possible.
Were you a good cook as a kid?
Yes.
What dish would you teach a child?
I would teach a child just how to make grilled chicken breasts and maybe plain rice.
What do you like about cooking?
It's an art. I like the creativity and I'm out of time.
It's okay. Your answer was really beautiful. I feel bad like cutting you off in the middle of like, yeah, it's actually therapeutic. It's a beautiful art.
I love that. I think that was, very funny. I feel like I've never seen someone take so much care.
Yeah, that was a very thoughtful and still expedient. Like you didn't just answer like 2 questions. So I appreciate that. And honestly, I'm controversial. I'm not a big rice person.
Right.
And as a South Asian, I'm not a big basmati rice person. Jeez. But when you said tahdig, I was like, actually, that is the kind of basmati rice I would fuck with. Like, I love tahdig so much. It's so good.
Yeah.
So that's something that Reka and I connect on because both of us are more bread or noodle people than rice people. But tahdig, it fucks.
It absolutely fucks is the thing.
What can you say about it other than it's incredible and perfect?
And let me tell you, I don't know if all Persians have this figured out, but I've certainly figured out that all forms of rice left over make a good tahdig.
Listen, that's actually beautiful. Commenters, take heed of this advice.
I reheat all leftover rice, jasmine rice, whatever. It's tahdig left over. It's fresh, it's fluffy, and it has a crispy bottom.
You know, like that pudding skin episode of Seinfeld where they're like, they just want to sell the pudding skins. I'm like, sell the crispy top. Damn. Yeah. Or crispy bottom. Damn. Incredible.
Well, pudding skin makes me feel like I need to go to the hospital.
I think it's kind of beautiful.
Pudding skin?
Oh my gosh.
Angel.
Sorry.
There's a hurricane in Jordan's
screaming.
Jordan, wait, does Angel also not like the word pudding skins?
I know. In our house, we don't say that.
Yeah.
Angel, come here.
Against
it's okay.
their religion.
Your Aunt Rachel will stop saying pudding skins. Come here.
Incredible. So let's dive the frick into this episode, okay? Honestly, good goddamn episode.
I love this episode. I look back, like when I think of older Top Chef episodes that aren't upsetting, this is one of the ones that I think of as nice.
Yes.
I did notice that. I know you already talked about our last episode, but I couldn't help but notice the last episode was the improv episode.
Yeah. We feel sick about it still. How do you feel? It feels uncomfortable.
I just saw those scenes from the last and I thought to myself, wow. And I'll just say also, as someone who hasn't watched Top Chef, really, that I was astounded at how much of the show reminded me of early days of America's Next Top Model.
Yes.
And I was like, I had no idea that we saw them in a house and that there were similar transitions and shots. And
you really, really want that, you have to go back and watch season 1, which is in New York. It could be shot for shot, like them pulling up to the house and the kind of quick pans of New York City streets.
Yeah.
Very.
The go-sees are just idiotic quick fires.
Yeah.
Yeah, every skyline shot, I was like, and it's Top Model.
And, Top Model.
And the improv thing, I was like, well, okay, I guess they all did this.
Yes, that's very funny.
But yes, that was scenes from the last, but that was the first thing that piqued.
Yes, absolutely. And you know what? An interesting episode to watch. And to make you be like, wow, improv looks really bad on camera.
Mm-hmm.
So our quick fire is to make 15-minute entrees with Uncle Ben's rice. I think this is a really cool challenge. I think it had the possibility of everybody's dishes being literally exactly the same thing. And given that is extremely possible, I thought they made them fairly different.
Yeah.
How do you feel, Jordan and Ruha?
I think that they did a good idea or good job. I like some of the things that people did. I think that it's so hard still watching because it's like some of them are still so, like, it's so dated.
It's very dated. All the stuff and the cinematography doesn't help. It all looks like hotel food, like weird hotel food or something. Or who said it that it looks like conference food? Was that our last guest? I think that's so accurate. It looks like conference food.
Yeah, it really does. It also it has a specific era vibe of food trends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So actually, let's run through them. And Ruha, if you, the way we do this is we'll run through the dishes and you just give a quick thumbs up, thumbs down. The criteria is loose as all hell. It could be like, does this sound good? Does this sound like a Top Chef dish? Does this sound interesting to me? Whatever you'd like. The rails are non-existent. So first up, we get Antonia with a rice salad with skirt steak, arugula, red onions, and cherry tomatoes.
I mean, I love a rice salad.
I don't like the words rice salad together. I would call it something like I would.
Why?
Dress it different. I think as a longtime vegetarian, I've had many things that could be described as rice salad that are disgusting. For instance, when I went to medieval times, I would argue the thing that they served me in saran wrap was rice salad. But this looks great. This reminds me, it looks like the Larry Bird, the basketball player, Charlie Bird salad. Actually, Larry Bird has an incredible cookbook. Check it out. The Charlie Bird salad on the New York Times cooking website, which I really like. It's weird that Antonia was like, this is kind of freaky, but normal to me. But hey, it was a different time.
I also don't pre-mix my rice and salad. I think rice and salad go very well together and each bite mixed, but I would make my salad, have a little Persian rice with tahdig, and I would make Dungeness crab instead of the steak, but that's a great dish.
You're going to love the end of this episode, let me tell you, Ruha, because we will pick your brain about what you would make.
Okay, cool.
Then we go over to Nikki, who made vegetable fried rice with mushrooms, zucchini, snap peas, and eggs. I think this is not a Top Chef dish. This is like literally what I ate in college every day.
Yeah.
Because it's easy. And that's totally fine. I'm sure it's delicious is the thing. It's just not a Top Chef thing. That's all.
I also have a quick question. They had to use the Uncle Ben's, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's not like with the help of, it's like, you must use this. We were paid $3 billion by Uncle Ben's to say it's the most delicious rice you'll ever eat. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because immediately I was like, well, I wouldn't make the Uncle Ben's at all.
Okay. So in that 15 minutes, I'm beelining right past the Uncle Ben's. That's extremely funny. Okay. Richard made tuna steak and tomatoes over rice with a yuzu vinaigrette. Sure.
I love yuzu.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie made brown rice pancakes with scallops. Now, if I saw that on a menu, I'd be like, yum.
Yeah.
It doesn't, didn't seem to go well. But Ruha, what's your thought?
It just didn't look right. I also don't like the tiny scallops.
Same.
The tiny scallops, I got
tiny, not good.
Yeah. No, I want a wild diver scallop.
Reiko, we absolutely cannot.
Reiko, we can't. It just turns into your background, Reiko.
Hold on.
Okay,
it's
perfect. Not. Oh yeah, we see it. Just say we see it, Jordan.
They look like little peanuts. They're like very small. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're that. Yeah. Like a little.
Mini marshmallow size scallops. And I want a big
want the jumbo
marshmallow scallop. Yeah.
I feel the same way about shrimp. Eating a little shrimp just does nothing for me. I want my big honkin' shrimp.
Yeah.
I like big honkin' shrimp, but a cute little baby cocktail shrimp is better than the tiny scallop.
Okay. Sound off in the chat. So. Which would you rather die with? A tiny, tiny scallop or baby shrimp?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you have to die with one of them.
Okay.
I have like a weird positive relationship with the baby tiny shrimp because my mom used to take me to Santa Monica Seafood when I was a baby, and a nice lady there would give me a free thing of the little baby shrimp because they thought I was cute. And anyway, I love it.
That's such a funny thing to give a child.
I know. That's like, to me, as someone who did not grow up eating seafood, that's like giving a child like caviar almost. Like, it's just like, wow.
Oh, interesting. To me, I think of it as almost like cannibalism. I'm like, hey, you're a baby. Eat these other babies.
Yeah. I guess that's what caviar is.
Well,
caviar is. Yeah. Caviar is babies.
Put up in the chat if you also find it interesting to give a small child a bowl of tiny shrimp.
Another baby, yeah.
Yeah, another baby.
But again, I cooked. Again, I cooked when I was a kid, so I was a gourmet child.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's why you like MasterChef Junior. Okay, then Spike, our number one guy, we love Spike, made rice stuffed tomatoes with veal, port, and rice wine vinegar sauce.
No.
I love rice stuffed things, but this one didn't look good or right to me.
I think so. I've got you'll be able to see another impeccable pick.
Oh,
yeah, that's good, right? So I think the tomatoes are so watery. I don't know how this would taste. I feel like it would just kind of turn into mush, and I love mush, but I don't know if this is my mush.
There's a good way to make a stuffed tomato. It did not look good.
Yeah, I'm at the point where I think, and obviously I believe that it's changed now, but at this point in time, I don't think Spike could have made a good food. I'll stand by it.
Could have made it, yeah.
Just any good food. I don't think he was making good food. I think now he clearly is. He has a very successful fast casual burger and milkshake restaurant.
Okay.
But on this show, I just don't think.
Does he still wear the hat?
He does still wear hats, yes.
But that one with the frayed fringe.
Oh, Ruha. It could
fedora?
Be any hat. It could be one of many hats. Amy, one of our favorite commenters, has noted that Spike wears anywhere between 1 and 5 hats in every episode. They're all pretty crazy. There's like fedoras, there's baseball hats, there's like a straw baseball hat. It's a lot of.
I'm looking up what kind of hat he wears. I'm pretty sure he's wearing a hat on his like the website of his restaurant. Hold on, I'm finding it.
some boys are hot boys, you know?
Yeah.
Wow, he has a lot of restaurants, honestly.
Okay, Spike.
Okay, interesting. Well, nobody liked these tomatoes. So then Lisa made rice, corn, black beans, and peppers with avocado creme, and grilled shrimp.
I'll say yes. For the time, I think this was good, but
I still think this sounds like something I made in college. I'm just like, yeah, I put like various things I find in a taco into rice or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rachel Chapman asked, do we think Spike has a hat closet? You know,
yes.
I think yes.
Well, no, Rick, I think he has what you're about to explain.
Like a bunch of pegs on his wall or like, yeah.
Something that installation.
Yeah, real mood killer. If he invites you over for a little makeout, you're like, oh.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have a lot of hats.
But I could also see him having a secret, like, so the door's closed, so it's not so obvious to everyone for him. But when he opens it, it lights up and it's walk-in, and it's just hats, floor to ceiling hats.
I think that's horrible. Yeah, I think it's bad. Dale made pineapple fried rice with grilled scallops and Chinese long beans.
Say it again.
Pineapple fried rice with grilled scallops and Chinese long beans. I have this. Yeah, this sounds good. I have the same assessment. Maybe I'll take back what I said earlier, but people making kind of different things. There's a lot of like stir fry inspired things, which makes sense. They had 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's also like, you know, that is a college kid amount of time to make something. So I'll eat it.
Also protein wise, like that kind of scallop is a good choice. It's going to feel fancy and be delicious, and it took like 4 minutes tops.
Absolutely. Good catch on that. Yeah, I think there's a reason why there are certain proteins being used for sure.
You're right.
Mark made miso glazed turkey over rice with snap peas and grapes. Turkey over rice.
How did you make that turkey in 15 minutes? So I don't understand.
It's packaged turkey, right? Is what we're to assume.
Wait, no, Ruha's right. What even
or do you think it could be like an Oscar, like a little one of these?
A cold cut? Is that a cold cut?
Sorry.
Loose meat.
You know what I mean? Yeah, the jiggly, the little paper meats. Yeah. Yeah, I think this looks kind of gross. It didn't help how much they remarked how dry it was. Andrew,
I couldn't believe they were saying it was dry. I mean, at first I thought somehow he made a little piece of turkey breast, and I was like, how? Yeah. How did he cook any sort of poultry?
Yeah.
Besides a pounded thin chicken breast.
Yeah, totally.
Amount of time. Yeah, and then it was dry.
Something dry on top of rice really hurts the throat.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Andrew made wild rice crusted fish with almond and sun-dried tomato pesto. That
sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't love it, right? No. But I thought it sounded good.
Yes. So great. On the bottom, we get like a little Lisa, Stephanie. Was Andrew on the bottom? I might have missed that.
I think you're right. It was just Lisa and Stephanie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then top was Dale, Richard, and Antonia. The winner was Antonia. Yay, we are fans of Antonia here.
Yeah, and she was happy. She like needed the win, so I'm glad for her.
Yes. Then we move into our elimination challenge, which is cooking with the kids of Common Threads as your sous chefs, which is adorable and very sweet. Yeah, I think that's a cool challenge. I think it's not crazy and like it's not like cook upside down with but it's like, oh, this is a little educational thing. You're feeding kids. That's the real like challenge of it, in addition to the judges. So I think that's cute.
I also think it's nice that no one was like, kids.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of times, like in other challenges, people will be like that. It's like pretty annoying, even as someone who's like, I'm not like obsessed with kids or anything, but I'm like, whatever. They're just like nice kids that are like doing a thing. Just be nice to them. It's not that hard.
Two things. One, you're correct. If we recall in season 1, Tiffany makes a huge stink about having to cook for kids, and it was a lot of them made a stink. I just remember Tiffany making a stink because, spoiler, she comes back in season 8 and is like, I'm not that person anymore. So I remember her arc like
yes, but even other people in that challenge, and I believe season 8, they have to like cook for kids at a museum. I think they had a challenge with Joe Jonas.
Yeah.
A lot of them are like, kids don't know how to eat anything. They just will suck on a sock and they're idiots. I'm like, why are you? I don't know. I feel like I ate a lot of food as a child.
I ate so much food.
I ate like the same I eat now.
Yeah, I same, but I also know kids that won't, you know.
Oh, for sure. I think it's
I get the challenge.
Yes, I get that the challenge is make food kids would like. I think it's just refreshing that they didn't make a huge fucking stink of it. Like this dessert and like cooking vegetarian are sort of 3 hot issues on the show where they're like, what the fuck? That's alien food, you know? So this was a very sweet, cute challenge. Also, I wanted to point out, Amy in the chat says, I think Mark might have been on the bottom of that quick fire. So thank you, Amy.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
God, I love Mark.
Because who made the turkey? Was that Mark?
That's Mark.
He was on the bottom.
Mark is Mr. Cold Cuts. Yeah. Cold Cuts on rice.
Cold Cuts.
Hi, Monsieur Cold Cuts. All right. So for the elimination, let's roll through these dishes. Come on. We got Richard and Abigail making roasted chicken with black beans, apple, avocado, and beet salad.
I thought this was good. I thought it was a good mix of flavors. I also thought it was nice that she did seem to enjoy the beet.
Mm-hmm. I love a beet. Watching a kid eat a beet, I was like, beet's still my heart. Beet's still my heart.
Yeah.
I also think this was I think like apple is a really appealing thing, at least to me when I was a kid, to like put in a thing that has a bunch of vegetables. So I think that was smart. Then we get Lisa and Andrew made roasted chicken with edamame and black beans, peanut butter, and apple French toast.
I think it's like whatever. Yeah.
I think it's a mix of a lot of things. It's really like, I don't think like a kid, I would order that French toast as a kid for sure. I think roasted chicken with edamame and black beans sounds very adult. I don't know if as a kid that would like draw my eye. I'm trying to think of like a kid looking at a menu.
I also wouldn't order roasted chicken with edamame and black beans as an adult.
As an adult, yeah.
No, it doesn't make sense to me.
Fun fact, I'm allergic to edamame, so I also wouldn't. Kind of.
I can't wait for more fun facts.
Yeah, kind of keep that in your pocket.
Yeah.
That's kind of a cool thing about me. So then Dale and Emmanuel made turkey bratwurst with potatoes, onions, red cabbage, and apples. That sounds great to me.
Yeah.
I think that's a cool, weird hybrid where an adult eats that at a bar and a kid is like, hot dogs.
So I think it's really kid friendly while also feeling like creative chef.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Totally. And then Spike and Alex made pasta puttanesca, carrot soup, and semi-baked apples. I think that's smart. I think Spike's a little weenie, but I think this was smart. Damn, I'm a fucking freak for a little baked apple.
Yeah.
Jordan doesn't like fruit.
Not talking about that, Rika. A baked apple.
My mom...
freaking dessert.
My mom used to, on my birthday, she would cut up apples with like butter and cinnamon and put it in our convection oven and just get them all.
Okay, well, I love that your mom did that, and I respect your mom. But I think, and it's rude of you to bring up your mom right after I said something like that.
Yeah, and then she said that like her last wish for me would be that I eat a baked apple. So it's
that you have a close friend that respects baked apples.
that I share.
I just think that it's not a dessert.
I agree, it is not a dessert, but they didn't have to make a dessert.
You're right.
Yeah. So it was like a little perk kind of dessert.
Yeah.
But if someone served that to me and was like, here's your sweet treat, I'd be like, go to hell.
Yeah. Also, I don't think it has to be a dessert. But it is a little all over the place with this meal.
I think this meal is crazy, but almost imagine you're at Boston Market and this is like your side of baked apples.
Yeah. Okay, and that makes more sense to me. I do like Boston Market.
I fucking love Boston Market.
I like Boston Market.
It was my favorite restaurant.
I also took that pause because I know I kind of like looked off into nothingness for a second before I said that I liked Boston Market. I do have to acknowledge that we did live very close to a Boston Market when I was a teenager. I would hook up in their parking lot a lot.
Okay.
And that's what I was thinking of, if I have to be fully honest with the group.
Wait.
Thank you.
That is so beautiful. Can I be honest about Boston Market too?
Yeah.
There was a Boston Market near me. And when I got my license, my vegetarian friend asked me, and a vegetarian was like, hey, do you want to meet up at Boston Market? And I was like, why? But we went and we ate a bunch of sides. But on my way there, this is the reason I never drove for 14 years.
Wait.
Because I was behind a truck and I had to make a left and the truck went ahead. So I was like, okay, I'm going. The light had turned red and I couldn't see because the truck was blocking the stoplight. And so I entered the intersection on a red light. And then I was like, okay, quick, reverse. But the cars behind me had gone, I didn't crash into anyone, but I wasn't thinking well. And I got so scared. And I remember what was playing on the radio too. It was, I think it's Ciara, Like a Boy was playing. Traumatizing. That plus Boston Market. Never get those two together.
Wow. Okay, Rika, but who did you have sex with in a Boston Market parking lot?
Ultimately, myself.
Okay.
No, I didn't do anything too crazy, but I just remember I would go and hook up there, and then after, I would make the person that I hooked up with buy me a mac and cheese.
Okay.
Wow.
They had a little drive-through. We didn't even have to get out of the car.
Now, Ruha, did anything sexy or traumatizing happen to you at a Boston Market?
No, I was incredibly sheltered and I was a virgin until the age of 30. So
25. What's up?
Or right before 30, maybe 29. My first kiss was, I think, 25. So that's
23. What's up? Yeah.
But and also for some reason, Boston Market wasn't our main go-to for that type. I feel like I was more into like California Chicken Cafe.
It definitely
had one in Santa Monica.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you also out here have Marie Callender's, which we don't have. On the
oh my God. If you can eat a pot pie, get out of here. Get out of here. Wow. That was a really kind of beautiful turn we took.
We all wanted to know about everything that I just said, right?
Yeah.
Dad's going to watch this episode later and be like,
I might have to delete a couple of the things I just said. I'm like, I never talk about it.
I mean, we can delete whatever. This is live right now.
It's wild that Rika's like, I have to delete where I talked about almost getting into a car accident, but not actually getting into a car accident.
Yeah. Listen, I live a really sheltered life currently. Okay. So Nikki and oh my God, sorry, the name is blocked out. Like Amos made roasted chicken with mixed vegetables, tomato, and cucumber salad.
I don't know. I'm bored.
I think it's fine. I bet it tasted really good.
Yeah.
It would not catch my eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't fancy, chef, but I'm like, but if you did a good job.
Yeah, I'm sure it tastes
and good. The chefs loved your roast chicken, then I'm in. I like good roast chicken.
And she had a lot of vegetables, which I appreciate.
Yes.
Brussels sprouts, tomatoes, cucumbers, a bunch of shit that didn't just look like crap that doesn't belong together that like omnivores will put together and be like, you ate vegetables, right? It's like, yeah.
I think the thing with that though is that, I think a lot of people underestimate kids and what they eat. But I will say I think it is nice to have fun food specifically for a kids challenge. And to me, a roasted chicken with vegetables feels like a very adult meal. That feels like something you enjoy at a nice, someone invites you over for a nice dinner, they roast a whole chicken, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, it feels very adult.
Doesn't feel fun.
I also didn't understand. I was like, "Whoa, prices are different. You got a whole chicken and vegetables for $10 at a Whole Foods."
Okay.
People in the chat are talking, rightfully so, about what can you get for $10 at Whole Foods. The answer currently, especially, is nothing.
Yeah, but there's been some hike. But even still, like, I do know what's possible, and some of this stuff, I was like, "No, this is not possible."
I think some of the stuff was in the Top Chef kitchen.
Also, what I didn't understand is they're like, oh, well, we have to shop and we're feeding 4 and we're counting our pennies at the budget. I'm like, you're not cooking for 4. You're cooking for a whole kitchen full of people. So you're cooking for 10 times however many people were, 10 times however many groups of 4 were in that room. So the money wouldn't have been different. You wouldn't have been looking at $9.22 because you weren't cooking for 4 people. You were cooking for a whole room of people. And I understand, but I still thought it felt weird.
Were they cooking for a whole room of people? I thought maybe each kid had one table and then the chefs. I thought it was 8 people.
Well, even then,
it's not 4.
It's still not 4.
Yeah, I wonder if what they did was like, they're like, it's a $10 challenge, but like whatever you get, multiply that by like, you're cooking for 40 people, multiply that by 4. So you can spend $40, but each meal of 4 should be like $10.
Also, sometimes it looked like all the judges were sharing one plate. Was it just me? There were times where it looked like they gave them all ones, but there was one thing where they were all digging into the middle.
Yes, they do often have to
They often do that, Ruha, so they probably honestly could have been doing that.
Yeah.
A good question in the chat before we move on, just so we don't miss it, is like, what kind of eater were you as kids? Picky, adventurous, neutral?
Not picky.
Yeah.
Loved food. My mom would make fun of that I was like 3 years old at some place saying sham please, which is like dinner in Persian, and that I wanted like a steak dinner. And to school and stuff, I was always jealous of, all the white kids' lunches with like all the, because I got made fun of for my food.
Yeah.
For a variety of reasons. Even if it was like a sandwich, it was a fancy sandwich. But looking back, I'm like, I had the best sandwiches. It was like nice thick roast turkey on sourdough bread and, like with some lettuce and what have you, or leftover Persian food for lunch. And but as a kid, I didn't know how good I had it. I just thought, what does peanut butter and jelly taste like? What does Wonder Bread taste like?
Wow.
What is bologna? What's a Lunchable?
Oh my God. Yes. Maybe I was picky for like till I was like in 6th grade. I really didn't like spicy food, which is bad because I'm Indian and all the dinners I ate, like breakfast would be like cereal or whatever bullshit. My lunch from age 0 to 18 was peanut butter and jelly with a tiny Arthur juice box.
Oh my God.
And then my dinners were always Indian food. And spicy food really killed me until I was in like 6th grade. And I was like, I don't know what happened. I just switched. I was like, I love spicy food.
Yeah. I definitely was pickier when I was a kid, but I was still adventurous. Like we were eating sushi when I was like 10, but compared to the sushi I eat now, it was picky.
Yeah. I remember
my
spice level for sure changed all of a sudden. Yeah.
I've always been a heat freak ever since I was a child. Ever since I was a little baby, I have loved spicy food, and I like to eat meat a lot. My parents are pescatarians, so I grew up not eating any meat at all, which was hard in the 90s going to other things, because either people wouldn't have anything for me, so I would eat like a piece of lettuce on a hamburger bun dipped in mustard, which I actually enjoyed, but was a thing that I ate regularly. Or I would accidentally eat a meat thing and then make myself very sick on accident.
Yes. I grew up eating meat and then stopped when I was 12 or 11 or something. So I like ate like chicken and whatever bullshit chicken nugget crap stuff. But like the Indian food I ate was all vegetarian because my grandparents cooked and they didn't ever eat meat. So I was adventurous with vegetables compared to my peers because they don't eat vegetables.
I always loved vegetables. I always loved Brussels sprouts. And I was one of those kids that was like so proud to not fall into the like, we all hate this stuff. I was like, well, not me. Like,
I didn't realize it until I would like go to my neighbors' houses and they'd be like, we're having for dinner. Oh, kids, the dinner is bagel with cream cheese and strawberries. I'm like, what?
Yeah, where's my veggies?
And these are like, this is like a rich family. Like we would go to their membership on the country club and they'd be like, kids, run up the tab. And we're like, okay. My family's
with cream cheese and strawberries was dinner for rich people?
For their kids. I will admit that I was friends with a 6-year-old when I was 9.
Okay. Okay.
All the other people in my neighborhood were the popular girls that were my age, and they, they didn't quite like me. They told me once, they were like, you know, the only reason you were invited to this Halloween party is because your dad called Jacqueline's mom and asked for you to be invited. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. Thank you. Kind of incredible. I was friends with a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
Poor Rick.
I was friends with one rich white kid that was my age and bullied me.
Yeah.
But they would take me to the Bel Air Bay Beach Club. They were members. Sometimes they would take me with them in the summer. And I remember we would only eat what she ate, which was refried beans with cheese and French fries. Honestly, it was great.
Yeah. Honestly, wow.
The best part of being friends.
Beautiful. Wow, this is like we're getting a lot out. That was necessary.
Wow, we're dealing with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, speaking of this, actually, Mark and Jessica made vegetable curry, which means truly nothing. Cinnamon rice.
Yeah. What kind of curry? First of all, what kind of curry?
I mean, like, whatever. I guess vegetables is better than just saying curry. Like, what kind of vegetables?
It looked like random vegetables with like a curry powder sauce is what it looked like to me.
It was a very thick brown curry sauce.
Really, really thick. Now I'll say, listen, I've eaten a lot of curry in my life. And this is a debate that I find very weird on this show, especially with Padma Lakshmi hosting. We're like, kids don't eat curry. I'm like, what kids?
What kids? Yeah.
What kids are you talking about? Because we're not talking about like kids don't eat prime rib. It's like your prime rib is like a specific thing. This is an entire culture of Thai food, Indian food, so many types of food have curry. So I'm like, well, there's a beef for your fucking self. I bet your host ate a bunch of curry too growing up. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yes.
I just happen to think this curry was
not good. I'm a fan of curry. This curry looked bad. Everything about this curry, I was like, no.
Yes.
Vegetable curry. Give me more info about the curry and
give me
the veggies, intel. And I'm in.
Listen, give me some intel on this curry. Give me the deets. Give me the ASL on this curry. I gotta know. I gotta know what the fuck cinnamon rice is what's going on with cinnamon rice.
No. Cinnamon rice?
Gordon hates cinnamon. I love cinnamon. Here's the thing. Get the cinnamon out of my rice.
Yeah, I love cinnamon. I don't know why cinnamon rice.
There's a dish in Indian food called dal makhani. And as part of the stuff you're roasting, the spices you're roasting in the beginning, cinnamon is one of them. And it has that cinnamony smell that does trigger a dessert response, but it's so integrated with other shit. Like that's not the flavor you get from it. And I'm like, you're leading with cinnamon in your rice. It better be pudding.
No, yeah. Same with like, there's so many Persian rices that cinnamon's in like this Atvia mix or whatever. That's like also cumin, also turmeric, also a lot of other things. And so it's just a note of it.
Yeah.
It's cinnamon rice. It's cinnamon rice pudding. Like it's cinnamon, sugar, vanilla. Like,
ice cream.
And we make like cinnamon for khoresh, like for some of the stews, but it's playing off of savory things in a way that it brings out a different flavor. It wouldn't be the main ingredient. Yeah.
It's just in rice? Cinnamon rice?
And okay, I will say something fucked, but cool. that I ultimately used to eat was rice with brown sugar or rice with sugar. Because I was picky about vegetables as a child, and that was what my grandmother would get me to eat and stop being annoying.
You love to put rice on or sugar on stuff when you were little.
So,
well, sugar and salt.
I'm different now. I don't eat dessert now. It's so weird.
You do eat dessert now, but I don't think I
Jordan, Reka's joking.
So let me say my piece. I don't think of Reka as someone who loves like sweet.
I don't.
So it's funny, even though you love dessert, you don't love sweet. So to think of the fact that you used to like have to eat like dosa or rice or whatever, your grandma would put sugar on it. That is very interesting to me how much that has changed.
Absolutely. You know, we grow. I want to point out yet again, Amy slam dunking in the chat, that they praise Spike's pasta sauce for having so many veggies when 2 of the 3 vegetables mentioned were caper and olives. Which
a caper is not a vegetable.
Caper, I don't know what a caper is. You get me there. It's not a vegetable, or it's like it's
a berry. Technically,
it's a caper berry. It's a caper berry.
It's a caper berry. It's covered with salt and brine. It's delicious, but yeah,
it'd be like if you were like, oh, the vegetable in my meal is a pickle.
Yes. It's like not the cucumber, but it is
like a pickle, like a Velasquez dill pickle, not like a pickled cucumber.
Yeah. Or I mean, honestly, like an olive. Like olives have nutritional benefit, but I wouldn't be like, this dish is healthy because it's full of olives.
Yes.
It is good. The olive oil, it's good. Listen, but I think.
And I wouldn't. It's not that I would say is or isn't healthy. I just wouldn't be like, this is a vegetable.
I wouldn't. Okay, that's exactly what it is.
It has capers and olives, and it's served with a Velasquez pickle on the side.
Yeah, I wouldn't list it as vegetables. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be like, this is a vegetable side.
Yeah, my vegetable side is not a bowl of capers. That's just a side. Yeah, that's actually just a topping. Okay, great. So we're over curry, and then Antonia and Jeffrey made chicken and vegetable stir fry with whole wheat noodles. Now they seem to be going ape for these whole wheat noodles, like they had never heard of them before. And I'm like, wow. I thought this looked like this again looked like something I made. I made this in college all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, it didn't look great to me, but it must have tasted amazing. And why were they acting like it was so hard to cook a good noodle?
I don't understand why they were talking about the whole wheat noodles so much. Like, I guess maybe I'm biased because just like growing up the moment, my mom definitely followed those like, wow, whole wheat bread is the healthy bread kind of.
Oh yeah, the time period was probably very like, whole wheat noodles.
Whole wheat,
wow,
whole wheat.
Really?
Now we can
really
eat as much of this as we want, and God won't smite us.
Yeah.
Whatever. So judges table. The winner is Antonia, and eliminated is Mark. And Elaine, just want to say, I do not believe Antonia made those noodles. No, I believe they were from a box.
No, Antonia did not make those noodles.
No.
Absolutely not.
No, they were in the $10 budget, and they were in a plastic.
They were 99 cents. It's a barilla. A barilla made it.
A barilla. Barilla.
A barilla. Mama barilla made it. And Mark goes home.
Mm-hmm.
Good episode.
I like this episode. I think Mark could have gone a little further because I do like Mark, and I think he was trying some things where the other contestants were trying to play it way too safe, and so I was a little sad to see him go. He also, relatively speaking, I can't remember everything he's done on this season, but I think he seems like a nice guy.
He seems nice. He's just like, he made like a gross misogynist joke about like Richard wearing a pink shirt.
Right.
Get a life and job and read a book. But yeah, he seems okay.
Hey, but of that time period, sounds super standard.
Yeah.
On that time period, he's incredible. Compared to like Spike, I'm like, this guy rules.
In that time period, Mark was a civil rights leader.
Yeah. Definitely his comment about Chef Tom not liking him seemed not go well for him.
Exactly. I think anything like that doesn't really sit well with the judges.
Yeah.
Yeah, good episode. Ruha, we kind of teased it before, but what do you think you would have made in a, we'll say $10-ish challenge where you had to cook for kids and these judges?
Okay, well, I would have made, my friend Jessica Haymond loves this recipe that I believe her husband Greg Tukulescu came up with. It's called tuna pasta, and it's fabulous. So, and I think it's within budget because all you need is like the jar of the fancy tuna is like $7 now. Some noodles, an onion, some Italian parsley, olive oil. And yeah, I would have done that. Maybe whatever budget I had left, a simple like arugula salad.
Kind of like an elevated tuna noodle casserole is what it sounds like.
Yes, it is. It's what I never had tuna casserole, but any reason I thought tuna casserole might be good is what this tastes like.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, Ruha, I'm getting, oh my God, I can tell them? Really? Okay, wow. The Bravo producers actually just popped in to tell me that I could tell you, you are top chef.
What?
You are top chef.
Oh, thank you. They don't even want to taste the dish?
They don't want to taste it. They said, that description sounds good. Tell them yes.
Oh, this sounds official. Your impression of them is very accurate. So now
they work in a mine with like kind of.
Yeah, it is very official, and a lot of people don't know this. Is there are two ways to become a top chef, and that is to compete on the TV show on Bravo as a professional chef,
right?
Top chef,
okay,
or be a guest on Reka and I's live stream YouTube show for charity, Talk Chef.
Either way.
Oh, wow.
Either way, an Indian woman's going to tell you you're top chef. Pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Wow. Well, Ruha, thank you so much for joining us. Where can people find you? And if you want to like talk a little bit about the comedy work you're doing.
Oh yeah, you can follow me on Instagram. It's my full name, Ruha Taslimi. And I'm working with the Comedy Co-op LA, which is working to start a new co-op style comedy theater here in LA, at the Comedy Co-op LA on Instagram and Twitter, and the website is thecomedycoopla.com.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I also want to just shout out, Ruha, you had a very funny Instagram story the other day that was like, hey guys, I have a tremendous amount of meat.
Oh, when my freezer broke.
Yeah. It was because at first I read it and I was like, oh, information. And I sent it to some friends who might be interested. And then they were like, this is so funny. It's so much. They're like, that's so much meat.
Oh, yeah.
Gremlin, both my girlfriend and I were at work and we're texting each other being like, how do we get those salmon fillets? Like,
let's get that meat.
Trying to coordinate how we get the meat. And there was a time the meat flew off the shelf.
I mean, luckily it did because it had to go.
It had to go. Oh, everything must go. Everything must go. Liquidation.
I was like, I guess I'm never stocking my freezer again out of fear of this event happening.
Truly incredible. Well, thank you so much. Everyone's pointing out this was a surprisingly touching episode. We all equally share deeply sensitive things about Boston Market and about our lives, and that's really beautiful, and that's kind of what makes this show. Wow, Rachel Chapman says, I made a really good chicken from Ruha.
Oh, thank you, Rachel.
I believe it.
Okay, wow, I believe. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Come back next week for another episode of Talk Chef. Thank you so much.